Star Trek celebrates its 50th anniversary this year. 50 years of exploring strange new worlds, of seeking out new life and new civilizations. Let's continue to boldly go where no one has gone before with the newest entry in the series, Star Trek Beyond.
My dad joined Starfleet because he believed in it. I joined on a dare.
You joined to see if you could live up to him. You spent all this time trying to be your dad. And now you're wondering what it means to be you.
When you're no Trekkie, you could easily overlook the fact that it's been 50 years by now that we first saw the Enterprise leave orbit. I'm not sure why they don't want to celebrate it loud and clear, maybe because they want to present the franchise as something super fresh and recent. And with Star Trek Beyond, directed not by J.J. Abrams like the last two movies, but by the Fast and Furious expert Justin Lin, they once again come blasting with full force and straight on that blockbuster action comedy path they have chosen with the 29 reboot. That is cool and entertaining, and at the same time also a little bit sad, because I really miss the more thought-provoking, sophisticated storylines. Don't get me wrong, I really loved the 2009 Star Trek, and it got kind of strange to say this for some reason, but I also had a blast with Star Trek Into Darkness. But after two very action-heavy entries, I was hoping for a Star Trek that would go beyond and focus more on the exploring and humanism part of the franchise. When I heard that Simon Pegg, a lifelong Trekkie, would not only once again star as Montgomery Scott, but also write the screenplay for the third one, I was really intrigued. Then they announced Justin Lin as the director, and I was kind of skeptical if the guy who brought us most of the Fast and Furious films would be the right choice, and the Sabotage trailer didn't really persuade me otherwise. But to make it short, Star Trek Beyond is a good movie, and while I think it's the weakest one of the new ones, I was really enjoying myself. By now, the Enterprise is on its 5-year mission, and it makes for a fresh change that we don't involve planet Earth this time. We are far out in space, and at its core, Beyond plays like an episode from the very first Star Trek TV series. It feels like a small little adventure story packed into a big summer blockbuster. The basic story is pretty simple and involves yet another big villain with some kind of revenge plan. He is played, even though it's hard to recognize him visually, by Idris Elba, and has a very cool introduction when the Enterprise is attacked by hundreds of little hive-like spacecrafts. You've seen it in the trailer. The Enterprise crashes very early on in the movie, and our crew is stranded on some strange planet. And I like that quite a bit. Not only does it make for a very intense and beautiful led action scene right at the start, but it also gives us an interesting location and some very cool character interactions. Because the crew is scattered and they have to work on their own, or more precise in little teams, until they're reunited later on. I like that planet. Like the new Star Wars movie, they are working with real locations and it adds to the experience. It's a strange planet, but it feels real. I would have actually liked it even better if they would have added some more strange alien flavors to it. What stood out to me from the very first moments on the surface were all those rock formations that I instantly associated with the many rock-heavy sets of the classic series. The story is pretty simple, and I think it's too simple, but one major reason why the movie works so well nevertheless are the beloved characters and the casting. The people they choose for the reboot have such a great chemistry, and while I'm not the biggest fan of Zachary Quinto, I couldn't be more happy with Karl Urban. Bones was always my favorite character from the classic series and old movies, and Karl Urban gives such a great interpretation of that role. And even better, he and Spock share many moments together this time. Well Beyond is definitely very heavy on the action. It also doesn't fail to deliver on the comedy aspect, and it never forgets to base its set pieces around our characters. And while Star Trek and Into Darkness mainly focused on Kirk, Spock and McCoy, and the classic series did it anyway, it's cool that Beyond succeeds in giving the rest of the crew more screen time as well. Simon Pegg spends most of the time with the new character of Jaylah, played by Sofia Boutella, a great addition. Zoe Saldana, John Cho and the late Anton Yelchin have moments to shine as well. But here are also some of my complaints with the movie. While it's fun to see the crew and immerse into the action and comedy, there simply isn't that much room for any real character arc. Star Trek is at its best when it's not only entertaining, but when it's also dealing with some interesting, overarching themes. Without spoiling it, one of the villain's dominant motivations could provide some moral background to think about, but his overall plan in the end doesn't really click that well with it, and the simple MacGuffin the story centers around felt really overused to me. I also thought that the movie was solid entertainment throughout, but it didn't peak that often for me. It's a good movie, not a great one. I think you could pick it apart from a logical viewpoint quite easily, but it's also very easy to enjoy it and have a good time with our beloved characters. And I'm already looking forward to the fourth one, of which they already revealed that it will center around Kirk and his father, who he actually never got a chance to know because he died the day he was born. That means we will probably get a time travel story, and we will definitely get Chris Hemsworth, who played George Kirk in the opening scene of the 2009 Star Trek. Until then, live long and prosper. And like always, thank you guys for watching. Please tell me in the comments below what you think about Star Trek Beyond. Did you like the movie? Which one is your favorite movie of the new Star Trek ones? And also, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like.
I am counting on it.
You are not my